Welcome back to another video, guys. Today, Josh Allen got his wide receiver one in New York, Buffalo. That's going to be a really interesting way to see how mock drafts shake up because it was a second and the Bills received DJ Moore in the fifth. It's really interesting because DJ Moore did have a down year this year, kind of similar to the Trent McDuffie trade where they're kind of buying low in a way. And DJ Moore did not get the volume he once had with Justin Fields, and that's the whole reason why he's gone in totality. And that's gonna be a really interesting topic to discuss right now. We'll be looking at the details of the trade. I'll be looking at what team won or what team each grade for the team. It's gonna be another interesting area to see where this goes from now. And I think it's gonna be really interesting to see all of that. So definitely gonna be an interesting area to see where all of this happens. My initial reaction was wow, the Bills got their wide receiver one, but they also got a second round pick. But they also got a fifth in return. I know a fifth isn't earth shattering, but it's a fifth round pick. It's not bad. So there's levels to this. There's oh yeah, wait, maybe this isn't as bad as some people would like to think. I definitely think this is going to be an interesting area of discussion to see where do the Bills go from here, where do the Bears go from here. The Bears already have Rome, and I think you probably want him to be that number one guy now because you drafted him so highly, and you weren't gonna get the full development if he didn't have that number one type receiving option. So there's gonna be a lot of interesting areas to go, but definitely think that this is a really interesting pick for the Bills, who kind of are investing in Josh Allen's now. To DJ Moore is kind of a buy now move in a way. It's not as old as someone like DeAndre Hopkins or Odell Beckham Jr. or something like that, but it is more of a hey, this guy isn't he's not getting any younger. I don't know how old he is, but we'll look that up in a second. But he isn't really getting younger, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he actually develops into a player next to Josh Allen, who we know is a athletic freak. So yeah, that's basically it. I will see the trade details be right. So this is going to be the area where we talk about. So DJ Moore is the graphic. DJ Moore is getting traded to the Bills for a fifth round or for a second round pick. So this is what Shefty posted. So Shefty says the compensation agreed on is Buffalo gets DJ Moore in 2026 fifth round pick, and Chicago gets a 2026 second round pick. This is honestly, I think honestly, I'm not very pessimistic on trades just in general. I think that this is a pretty good move for both teams. DJ Moore was not happy there. He was not getting there was a bunch of trade buzz. There was people thinking he was going to the Giants or he was going to some of these other wide receiver needy teams, the Patriots maybe. There was all these guys that needed these wide receivers, and he was clearly not happy. He was in a bunch of trade talks before, and that was the main problem is with you don't know where he was going to go, and you don't know how happy he was going to be, and you're eventually going to have to you eventually have to pay him too, and. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta cut your losses and get the capital when you can. And I know this isn't the haul the Rams got or the Chiefs got for Trent McDuffie, but at the same time, it's still something. And these teams I think these organizations are starting to realize, hey, instead of letting these guys walk, why don't we end up trading them while we can? And that's gonna be another interesting area. Obviously, it's hindsight, right? If you know he's not gonna do well or not gonna have good contract negotiations, and there's pretty much no chance, why not just trade him and sell? And that's honestly the best idea. And the Bears don't need much. They have their franchise quarterback who can make things happen. He obviously has had good weapons, but regardless, he's good. You've had Rome Odunze, who you took 9th overall in 2024, a really stacked draft class, the third receiver taken off the board. The only guys taken ahead of him was Malik Neighbors and MHJ, who were two elite prospects. Rome Odunze was right there too. Rome Odunze could have gone 6. People were mocking him at 6. I think this is a great pick for the Giants, or for the Giants taking Neighbors, but Odunze has not been bad at all either. I don't think he's been at the production as Neighbors, but definitely hasn't had that time to shine like Neighbors had. So that's going to be another interesting area to think. There's probably going to be the number one guy, and I think they're probably with a deep wide receiver class. They maybe take a wide receiver in the second, third. And the amount of capital they have too, it's not bad. And Ben Johnson will always scheme up a schematic area for the Bears to get their playmakers, get the playmakers into the sand. And same with Caleb Williams. He will literally just he will try to get it into the harm's way, or try to get out of harm's way and into one of their best players. He's a playmaker. He has an unreal athlete. He's literally an unreal athlete. And some people don't like to give him credit for that. I know most people do, but some people don't. And I think he's an unreal athlete for his size. He moves pretty good for his size. He has crazy arm talent. That's why he's taking first overall. It's just you can get away with trading away DJ Moore because you have the young guys there too. Why don't you develop that Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams connection? I think that's been a pretty good connection regardless, and I think that this is a kind of good move. Bears, I will give the Bears a B+. I think I would have liked a little more draft capital. I would have liked maybe a sixth or a seventh or a fourth, something along those lines, maybe even fifth. But and they also give up a fifth, so I'm not a huge fan of that either. But you had to sell him, and a second is not bad. A second is like the next best thing from a first. Obviously first is the best, right? Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But it's interesting to see how well he'll get adjusted. And the Bills, for the Bills, this is another interesting move because you didn't have your wide receiver one. Keon Coleman was a whiff. Khalil Shakir was a whiff. You guys really haven't had that number one wide receiver, and Josh Allen's been throwing the plumbers, right? That was the whole narrative. That's why people were mocking him for a wide receiver. Now I think that's changes a lot, and they will focus more on the defense, the edge, or the safety, defensive back type of area. That's going to be the biggest part, and that's a big part for me because I'm gonna have to mock this differently. And now that they have their wide receiver one for the future, foreseeable future, it's going to be a good area to pick. Like Josh Allen never threw to anybody that great besides Stephon Diggs, who they let walk a couple years ago or traded or something. I think he let walk. That's going to be the big issue. Like that's going to be the area. Like Josh Allen has to have that guy, and they're going to probably investing in him now. I honestly think the Bills get an A. They get some draft capital, and they also get DJ Moore, and they could just give up a second. Which would you want to take a chance on someone like Malachi Fields, who is very, very raw as a prospect, or Ted Hurst, who you don't know how well his route running skills are and just relies a lot on his speed and his catch point? Like, would you want to rely on that, or would you rather rely on someone who's been proving when he gets the good amount of volume and getting that amount of reps he has? Like I said, he was a baller with Justin Fields. He was also a baller in Carolina too when he was there, because you know why? He was getting all those throws thrown to him. He was making acrobatic catches. I think he's not. I don't know how old he is. He's already 28, right? Like he's entering his prime, or is in his prime right now, right? That's gonna be a good way to get Josh Allen some help. And honestly, I think the Bills get an A in this because I know the production has not been there. I know we're going to look at the numbers now, but I know that the production has not been there. But at the same time, right, like at one point you have to say like, hey, this guy was really, really good with high amount of volume. Like, what's the point of kind of like not giving up so much? Like, I would rather give up DJ Moore than take a chance on a second round receiver who's probably going to be really raw. And the Bills' track record of getting wide receivers have been big prototypical type X's, and that's going to be that's like gone out of fashion in the NFL these days. People like these smaller guys who are just more smart and have better hands. These big prototypical X's that have a bunch of size are good in some scenarios, but if you develop them the wrong way, like you've seen with Keon Coleman, it has not worked out well, and they're calling for his head. Like, that's going to be a big issue, and that's gigantic problem for this team. So in his highest volume era, right, he had 15 games played, 1,000. He's a 4-time 1,000 yard receiver, and the production has dipped down a little bit, right? And like I said, you're kind of buying low. He has the career lows in receptions this year, career low in targets, right? He's always going to be upset, but when he has a career high in targets, he has 966. But we know, this is career high is over 1,000 yards, and this is with constant backups. I think Bryce Young was drafted like the year he went to Chicago when Bryce Young was drafted. This is with like PJ Walker, Matt Corral, like it's all these guys, and he was producing with these guys and had these crazy acrobatic catches. With Caleb Williams, 1,000 yards. Almost 1,000 yards, almost 682 yards. This is not what Caleb Williams. I think this is Justin Fields. Justin Fields, he had a great year, and that was his offense, his wide receiver core, right? That was DJ Moore and them, right? It wasn't somebody else, right? Now it was Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen at this point. And like it's interesting to think about because the reason is, it's just like he never really had that volume anymore because these younger guys are coming in, and now that he's probably gonna be the big dog on campus now for the Bills. That's going to be another interesting area to think about. I think this would be a great area for the Bills to invest in. And I think if you give him the production, he will produce and have these 1,000-yard seasons. And that's just my take. I think that this would make a much more sense for the Bills in any scenario because they get capital, they get a fifth-round pick. I mean, people are kind of overlooking that. I think a fifth-round pick is good for this team because it needs more depth. And on top of that, you get your number one wide receiver for Josh Allen, an MVP caliber quarterback who is making plumbers or whips of picks look like goats, or not goats, but like look good, and it was getting into his getting into them without any real issue, and that's going to be the biggest takeaway from on this trade. And Josh Allen will make DJ Moore probably back to an 1,000-yard receiver because DJ Moore is so good in space. He's really good at the catch point, really good at route running. Honestly, he was just really good, and I think this is definitely more of a buy low. They might pay out, and it's going to start rising. Honestly, I like this trade a lot for the Bills. For the Bears, I guess you get some capital, but like you have some holes. You might need secondary. So maybe this gives you a chance to get secondary and a defensive tackle, or an edge rusher. Like you need more on the other side, and also makes you develop Rome Odunze a little more and some of these other younger guys. So definitely a stacked wide receiver class too. So you can definitely get a wide receiver later on in the round too. So honestly, not the worst idea for both teams to move on, and one team, or for the Bears to move on and the Bills to invest. Definitely think with the production he's gone, definitely can think he will be an 1,000-yard receiver next year. Thank you all for watching. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.